Welcome. Today we'll learn more about Stoicism, a theory that says we should put our attention and energy into things we can control, like our thoughts, attitudes, and deeds. We can't control what happens outside of us, so we shouldn't let them decide how happy we are. Here are 7 reasons why Stoicism says that to win, you should focus on what you can control. Number 1. Inner peace and tranquility. Stoicism places a strong emphasis on the notion that we should direct our attention to the aspects of our lives over which we do have some measure of control. When we focus our attention and energy on the things of life that are under our control, such as our ideas, attitudes, and actions, we are able to release ourselves from the continuous worry, anxiety, and frustration that result from making an effort to manipulate or influence situations that are occurring outside of our control. In the course of living our lives, most of the time we are forced to contend with circumstances over which we have no control. Our feeling of inner calm is readily shattered when we are confronted with challenges, whether they come in the form of people, situations, or other individuals. Stoicism teaches us to understand that external events are intrinsically beyond our control, and that the only arena in which we have agency is our own internal landscape. This is one of the most important lessons we can learn from this philosophical school. When we completely embrace this notion, we no longer waste our time, energy, or emotional well-being on attempting to change or control things that are outside our sphere of influence. Instead, we accept things as they are and go on. We are aware that we are unable to affect the weather, make changes to the past, or control the thoughts and actions of other people. Instead, we turn our attention inside, concentrating on the facets of ourselves that are malleable and susceptible to change. We relieve ourselves of the onerous weight of persistent worry and anxiety when we come to terms with the limits of our influence over external situations and accept them. We remove ourselves from the results of the events and free ourselves from the desire for validation or approval from an outside source. Because of this distancing, we are able to discover a feeling of inner serenity and stability that is unaffected by the upheaval that is occurring in the world around us. In addition, we are able to create a stronger sense of self-awareness by directing our attention to the aspects of our situation that are within our control. We recognize that our own ideas, feelings, and attitudes are within our control, and as a result, we have a heightened awareness of these aspects of ourselves. We cultivate the capacity to watch and reflect upon our own internal states, coming to grasp how these feelings impact both our experiences and our reactions to the outside world. Stoicism instructs us in this manner so that we may eventually become the rulers of our own thoughts. When we cultivate the ability to select our ideas and attitudes intentionally, regardless of the external conditions that we are confronted with, we acquire power. This development of internal sovereignty offers us the capacity to discover tranquility and peace inside ourselves, despite the disorder or difficulties that may be present in our external environment. A proactive attitude toward life is achieved when we concentrate our attention on the aspects that are within our power to influence. We are aware that while we do not have any influence over the way events will develop, we do always have the option to choose how we will react to them. Even when we are confronted with difficulty, we have the ability to choose how we will react, with serenity, knowledge, or virtue. This adjustment in viewpoint gives us the strength to tackle the obstacles that life throws at us with grace and perseverance. We acquire a stability of character that is not influenced by the unpredictability that exists in the world, and as a result, we are less likely to be affected by changes in our surroundings. This inner steadiness enables us to preserve a feeling of tranquility and serenity even when the circumstances around us are chaotic or unclear, because it helps us keep our focus on what is inside. Number 2, emotional well-being, our less desirable feelings, such as rage, anxiety, or frustration, for example. This comprehension of Stoicism has important repercussions for both our mental toughness and our emotional health. Stoicism tells us that our interpretations and evaluations of external events, rather than the events themselves, are the primary contributors to our emotional states in response to such occurrences. When we come to terms with the fact that there are aspects of our environment over which we have no influence, we develop the capacity to detach our emotional responses from the actual happenings. Because of this knowledge, we are able to react to circumstances with a higher degree of serenity and logic, as opposed to allowing ourselves to get swept away by impulsive or harmful emotions. When we come to terms with the fact that we have only a limited amount of influence over the happenings around us, we free ourselves from the unrelenting pressure to alter or control those events in order to make them conform to our preferences. We are aware that the only thing that we actually have control over is the environment inside ourselves, which encompasses both our ideas and our attitudes. This knowledge provides us with the ability to assess our perceptions of events and confront any unfavorable or unreasonable ideas that may be the source of our painful feelings. The Stoic philosophy pushes us to develop a mindset that is reasonable and objective at all times. We have the ability to take a moment, stop, ponder, and think about other points of view rather than reacting rashly to happenings in the outside world. We get the ability to select our reactions consciously, basing them on reason and morality rather than being merely led by our emotions when we approach events with a reasonable mentality, since this gives us the capability to choose our responses deliberately. Because of this change in viewpoint, we are able to negotiate the problems that life throws at us with increased resilience and emotional stability. We get the ability to identify the fleeting character of external events and to refrain from becoming emotionally involved in them as a result. Instead, we concentrate on the aspects of the situation that are directly within our control, channeling our energy into productive activities while preserving our inner composure. In addition, Stoicism supports the development of self-discipline and the management of one's own emotions through the practice of self-mastery. It teaches us to notice our emotional responses without passing judgment on them, noting their existence but refusing to let them control our behavior or our well-being. By cultivating this kind of emotional self-control, we become less reactive to the stimuli that come from the outside world and more able to have a level head and a peaceful frame of mind. Stoicism also places a strong emphasis on the value of nurturing pleasant feelings, such as thankfulness, joy, and satisfaction in one's life. We are able to redirect our attention to the many benefits and possibilities that are all around us by concentrating on the aspects of our situation over which we do have control and by developing an attitude of thankfulness for the here and now. This optimistic perspective improves our mental health and makes a contribution to leading a life that is more full and pleasant overall. Number 3, efficient use of energy and resources, allowing us to be more productive and effective in achieving our goals. The Stoic philosophy's emphasis on focusing on what we can control has a direct correlation with the efficient use of our energy and resources. By recognizing the limitations of our control over external events, we can redirect our attention and efforts towards the areas where we can make a tangible difference. When we are consumed by concerns over things beyond our control, we tend to expend significant amounts of mental and emotional energy on futile endeavors. We may find ourselves constantly worrying, obsessing, or trying to manipulate circumstances that are ultimately outside our sphere of influence. This draining preoccupation leaves us depleted and hinders our ability to channel our resources effectively. However, by adopting the Stoic mindset of concentrating on what is within our control, we liberate ourselves from these fruitless endeavors. We can now invest our energy, time, and resources in actions and pursuits that have a meaningful impact on our lives and the lives of others. By focusing on what we can control, our thoughts, attitudes, and actions, we can engage in deliberate and purposeful behavior. We become more discerning in choosing our commitments, projects, and relationships. We prioritize actions that align with our values and contribute to our personal growth, well-being, and the betterment of the world around us. This focused approach allows us to be more productive and effective. Instead of spreading ourselves thin and dissipating our energy, we concentrate our efforts on the tasks and goals that truly matter. We engage in activities that are within our sphere of influence, where we have the capacity to make a difference and generate meaningful outcomes. Moreover, the efficient use of energy and resources stems from the acceptance of our limitations. Stoicism teaches us to accept that we cannot control everything and that we must work with the realities of the world as they are. This acceptance frees us from the compulsion to constantly fight against the uncontrollable and redirects our energy towards areas where we can exert influence. By accepting and embracing the constraints of our control, we become more adept at prioritizing and managing our resources. We learn to let go of trivial concerns, unnecessary distractions, and futile endeavors. We develop the ability to discern what truly deserves our attention and invest our resources accordingly, ensuring that our efforts are directed towards what will yield the most significant impact. Through this efficient allocation of energy and resources, Stoicism empowers us to lead more purposeful and meaningful lives. We become more focused, intentional, and effective in pursuing our goals and contributing to the well-being of ourselves and others. By directing our efforts towards what we can control, we maximize our potential and make a tangible difference in the areas where it truly matters. Number 4, personal growth and self-improvement. Stoicism places a strong emphasis on personal growth and self-improvement as essential aspects of leading a meaningful and virtuous life. By shifting our attention to what we can control, we open the door to self-reflection, introspection, and taking responsibility for our thoughts, attitudes, and actions. This focus on personal development empowers us to become better individuals and make a positive impact on the world around us. When we recognize that external events are beyond our control, Stoicism prompts us to turn inward and examine our own responses and behaviors. We are encouraged to engage in self-reflection, asking ourselves questions about our beliefs, values, and the alignment of our actions with those principles. This introspective practice allows us to gain a deeper understanding of ourselves and to identify areas for growth and improvement. Stoicism challenges us to take full responsibility for our thoughts, attitudes, and actions. It teaches us that we have the power to choose our responses to any given situation, regardless of external circumstances. By accepting this responsibility, we become active participants in shaping our own character and behavior. By striving for self-improvement, we aim to align our actions with virtuous principles such as wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. Stoicism provides a moral framework that guides our behavior and encourages us to cultivate these virtues in our daily lives. Through self-discipline, we work towards becoming individuals of integrity, compassion, and moral strength. Stoicism recognizes that personal growth is an ongoing process. It acknowledges that we are not perfect and that we will inevitably make mistakes or face setbacks along the way. However, it encourages us to view these challenges as opportunities for growth and learning. By approaching them with a stoic mindset, we can turn adversity into a catalyst for personal transformation. The practice of self-improvement in Stoicism is not solely focused on individual benefit, but also extends to our impact on the world around us. As we strive to align our behavior with virtuous principles, we become agents of positive change. Our actions, no matter how small, can have a ripple effect on those around us, inspiring others to follow a similar path of personal growth and moral integrity. Stoicism invites us to cultivate qualities such as empathy, kindness, and compassion towards others. It teaches us to recognize the interconnectedness of humanity and the importance of contributing to the well-being of society as a whole. Through our personal growth, we can become catalysts for positive change and make a meaningful difference in the lives of others. In the pursuit of self-improvement, Stoicism encourages the adoption of practical strategies. This may include daily reflection on our thoughts and actions, setting specific goals for personal growth, seeking wisdom from philosophical texts, engaging in acts of service or kindness, and seeking guidance from mentors or role models. Number 5. Developing resilience and adaptability. Stoicism places great emphasis on developing resilience and adaptability in the face of life's inevitable challenges and changes. By accepting that external events are beyond our control, Stoicism offers practical tools and perspectives to cultivate the mental and emotional fortitude needed to navigate the ups and downs of life. One of the key teachings of Stoicism is that change is an intrinsic aspect of the human experience. Recognizing this fundamental truth allows us to approach life with a mindset of acceptance and flexibility. We understand that we cannot control or prevent external events from occurring, but we can control our responses to them. By acknowledging the limits of our control, we shift our focus to what is within our power, our thoughts, attitudes, and actions. Stoicism encourages us to view setbacks, adversities, and unexpected circumstances as opportunities for growth and learning. Rather than being overwhelmed or defeated by them, we develop the resilience to face these challenges head-on. Stoicism teaches us to adopt a stoic attitude towards adversity, embracing it as a natural part of life. We recognize that it is not the events themselves that determine our well-being, but our interpretations and responses to them. By maintaining a calm and rational mindset, we can navigate through difficult situations with greater clarity and composure. Moreover, Stoicism encourages the practice of reframing our perceptions of adversity. Rather than seeing setbacks as purely negative, we can reframe them as valuable opportunities for personal growth, character development, and resilience building. This perspective shift allows us to approach challenges with a sense of purpose and determination. By accepting that change and unexpected events are inevitable, Stoicism teaches us to adapt and adjust our plans and expectations accordingly. We develop the ability to pivot and find new solutions when faced with obstacles or setbacks. This adaptability enables us to respond effectively to changing circumstances and make the most of the resources and opportunities available to us. Stoicism also teaches us to focus on what is within our control during times of change and uncertainty. Rather than dwelling on what we cannot control, we direct our attention and efforts towards what we can influence, our own attitudes, actions, and responses. This empowers us to proactively navigate through challenging situations and find creative solutions. By cultivating resilience and adaptability, Stoicism equips us with the tools to bounce back from adversity and emerge stronger. We develop the mental and emotional strength to persevere through difficulties, maintain our integrity, and stay true to our values. Stoicism teaches us that setbacks and unexpected events do not define us, but rather provide opportunities for growth and self-improvement. In essence, Stoicism invites us to embrace change and adversity as natural aspects of life's journey. Through the cultivation of resilience and adaptability, we become better equipped to handle life's challenges, navigate through uncertain times, and emerge with greater wisdom and strength. Stoicism offers a practical philosophy that empowers us to thrive in the face of change and become more resilient individuals. Number 6. Freedom from external influences. Stoicism advocates for finding freedom from the influence of external circumstances by focusing on what is within our control. By shifting our attention and efforts to our own thoughts, attitudes, and actions, we liberate ourselves from the dependency on external validation or outcomes for our happiness and well-being. This shift towards internal autonomy fosters a profound sense of freedom and empowerment. When our sense of happiness and well-being is contingent upon external factors, we become susceptible to the whims of the ever-changing world around us. We may seek validation from others, crave material possessions, or become fixated on achieving specific outcomes. However, Stoicism teaches us that true freedom lies in recognizing that these external factors are ultimately beyond our control. By acknowledging and accepting the limits of our control over external circumstances, we release ourselves from the tyranny of seeking external approval or validation. We recognize that our sense of self-worth and contentment should not be dependent on the opinions of others or the attainment of specific outcomes. Instead, we cultivate an internal locus of control, finding our happiness and well-being within ourselves. Stoicism invites us to focus on the development of our own character, virtues, and moral integrity. We learn to align our actions with our values and to cultivate inner qualities that bring us a deep sense of fulfillment and satisfaction. By relying on our own internal compass, we become less swayed by external influences and more grounded in our own convictions and principles. This shift in perspective grants us a sense of autonomy and freedom. We no longer feel compelled to conform to societal expectations or chase after external markers of success. We can make decisions based on our own values, guided by reason and virtue rather than external pressures or desires. This autonomy empowers us to live authentically and in accordance with our true selves. Furthermore, when we focus on what we can control, we develop a greater sense of resilience and inner strength. We realize that even in the face of challenging circumstances or setbacks, we possess the capacity to choose our responses and maintain our inner peace. We become less reactive to external events and more grounded in our own intrinsic sources of well-being. Stoicism teaches us that our happiness and well-being are ultimately rooted in our internal attitudes, perceptions, and choices. We have the power to shape our own thoughts, to cultivate a positive mindset, and to find contentment in the present moment. This liberation from external influences allows us to embrace life on our own terms, unfettered by the expectations or judgments of others. By focusing on what we can control, we reclaim our autonomy and find a deep sense of freedom within ourselves. We learn to cultivate our own happiness and well-being independent of external circumstances. Stoicism offers us a path towards true liberation, enabling us to live in alignment with our values, guided by reason and free from the shackles of external influences. Number 7. Cultivating a sense of gratitude. The philosophy of Stoicism places great importance on the development of a mindset of appreciation as a fundamental element of achieving a satisfying and gratifying existence. Focusing our attention on the aspects of our lives that are under our control and expressing appreciation for them can cultivate a deep sense of gratitude, which can enhance our overall state of well-being. The act of expressing appreciation and acknowledging the favorable circumstances, advantageous prospects, and affirmative facets of our existence is commonly referred to as gratitude. The philosophy of Stoicism instructs individuals to redirect their attention away from their wants and deficiencies and towards their existing possessions. This change in viewpoint enables individuals to acknowledge and express gratitude for the current moment and the potential it presents. Focusing on the aspects that are under our jurisdiction enables us to align ourselves with the plentiful resources that encompass us. The appreciation of modest and gratifying experiences that may frequently evade our attention is acknowledged. The state of being more conscious and valuing something more highly results in a profound feeling of thankfulness towards the various encounters, connections, and belongings that enhance our state of being. The philosophy of Stoicism encourages individuals to contemplate the transitory nature of external conditions. Through recognizing the impermanence of existence, individuals cultivate an appreciation for and thankfulness for the current moment. The recognition that the possessions and circumstances we currently possess may not persist indefinitely instills within us a sentiment of gratitude for the present moment. In addition, fostering a sense of gratitude enables individuals to mitigate sentiments of entitlement, discontentment, or perpetual pursuit of additional resources. The philosophy of Stoicism instructs individuals to redirect their attention away from their deficiencies and towards their existing possessions. Acknowledging the profusion present in our lives, encompassing our interpersonal connections, physical well-being, prospects, and even the most basic indulgences, cultivates a sense of gratification and fulfillment. Expressing gratitude has been shown to have a positive impact on both our general state of well-being and our mental health. Empirical studies have demonstrated that the act of expressing gratitude can result in elevated levels of subjective well-being, enhanced interpersonal connections, and an augmented sense of overall contentment with one's life. By focusing our attention on the favorable aspects of our lives, we alter our cognitive perspective towards positivity and foster a more sanguine worldview. Moreover, expressing gratitude has the potential to function as a remedy for adverse affective states, such as feelings of jealousy, animosity, or discontentment. Expressing gratitude for our possessions and circumstances can reduce our tendency to engage in social comparison or experience covetousness for unfulfilled desires. The practice of expressing gratitude enables individuals to attain contentment in the present moment, as opposed to incessantly pursuing external validation or material possessions. The philosophy of Stoicism advocates for the integration of gratitude into our daily routines through deliberate exercises. One possible approach to cultivating gratitude is through various practices such as keeping a gratitude journal, conveying gratitude to others, or engaging in reflective exercises that allow us to appreciate the positive aspects of our lives. Through the deliberate cultivation of gratitude, individuals enhance their capacity to experience happiness, satisfaction, and a sense of accomplishment in the present moment. To sum up, Stoicism emphasizes the significance of developing a sense of gratitude as a means to attain greater fulfillment and contentment. By prioritizing our locus of control and acknowledging the abundance in our lives, we cultivate a profound sense of gratitude for the current moment and the potential it offers. The adoption of gratitude as a guiding principle has been shown to enhance our general state of well-being, promote positive emotions, and facilitate the discovery of satisfaction and purpose in our existence.